Evening, Gasnets. Welcome back. We are back with another episode. Apologies, we are a little bit late. Josh was eating the lucky lasagna, gas. So, but yeah, we're back. Hope everyone's doing well. Yeah, obviously we're back. Last week there was meant to be one, but yeah, due to different circumstances, there wasn't one last week, of course. But yeah, plenty to talk about. Yeah, and this week, obviously, talking about a win. We will go into Charlton very quickly just because we didn't talk about it last week. Yeah, I thought that would be not a good idea because it was absolutely rubbish, but we'll get into that anyway, of course, discuss the window. Then we'll get into Stockport. Obviously, really, really tough game. And yeah, obviously, it's plenty early as well, just because, yeah, you know, we might as well get it out now so there's plenty more time for obviously you guys to watch. Of course, this game will be Tuesday. We haven't got a game because, yeah, Wickham obviously still in the FA Cup. And no, Tom, I haven't got the scooter back. I've actually ordered another one. So yeah, shambles, nothing getting sorted. But yeah, another one is arriving. But yeah, hit the like button. If you're watching back on the replay as well, we'll get into it when we discuss the window. But if you're watching back on the replay, of course, leave your predictions, but also put in your rating out of 10 for what you thought the window was. We'll obviously give our thoughts onto that. But yeah, joined by the lads as always. Neil, how are you? You still buzzing after being in that South Stand?
Ain't for me, mate, that South Stand. It ain't for me, but result was good, wasn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100% result was good. Yeah, it's good to. Well, at home is obviously we'll get into it, but yeah, at home it's just completely. It's like chalk and cheese. It's been like that with Rovers throughout the years. Apart from a playoff campaign, our away record is usually a shambles, and our home form is better. But yeah, definitely. Even in Gordo as well. Even into crime scene 2 courtroom as well. Watching as well. But yeah, if you've got any questions, as always, any comments, get them down below. We'll try and answer as many as we can, like we always do. And of course, make sure you're subscribed if you're new as well. A lot of you that watch the live episodes or the videos still aren't subscribed, so hit the subscribe button. Josh, how are you, mate? You good?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. I've got the darts on, first night of the Prem. Oh, shush. You can't complain, really, can you, mate?
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, it's even better. Yeah, talking about a win. But yeah, we will quickly get into Charlton first. Obviously, yeah, more disappointment on the road. Yeah, 11th away defeat. It's out of 15 is it's horrific. And of course, it was back-to-back away defeats as well without scoring a goal. Neil, what was your quick thoughts on that? Obviously, I didn't really want to bring it up, like I said, because we didn't discuss it last week. I thought there was a lot of. It was obviously a madness. Yeah, I got home. Obviously, run out of 4G. Got home from the game at 2 and went on Twitter, and it was absolutely madness. Even Neil tweeting stuff, you know, about even like Shaq and all that. Yeah, what did you make of that game? It was just, yeah, Rovers won it. It was bad.
It was another Huddersfield for me. Just weren't in it from kickoff, and it is. I know what you're saying. Like, it's just typical Rovers, but it's the thing is, they went completely against everything that they started to do as far as the mentality shift and listening and understanding and all the progression they've made as far as just trying to implement something new. And I give them a pass. At Wigan for being, you know, they just look mentally exhausted. Wigan. It wasn't for lack of effort, but they didn't even look to do anything. They didn't look to do anything against Charlton. Like, it to the point where, like, I think Charlton is triggered a lot of what you've seen leading up to where we are now as far as decisions being made. To the point where I think I said to my old man at half time, Charlton, that they need to see a different side of Calderon now. He's done the niceties. He's come in. He's told them they're good players. He's told them what he wants from them. He said, "You'll listen to me. I'll be understanding if you don't, you know, if things don't come off. If you try and do my." But they need to see a different side of him now, where people need to start being accountable for things, i.e., they are or they aren't doing, and he needs to make examples of people that aren't doing what they're doing. I was amazed Shaq came out second half. I was amazed he came out second half. that was the worst attacking performance I'd seen since Jevani Brown at Wigan on the final day. It was up there with just it was that bad as far as trying to look at someone who's obviously got bags of ability, but not doing the fundamentals you need to make that system work. And he was just, like I said, he was out there for himself. I said it. I mean, I've said my piece on Shaq already regarding that. And yeah, there's certain, and then it runs through to the team to show that in seasons gone by and teams gone by, he'd have been made accountable. Like he'd got bounced around walls in that change room at halftime in other teams, let alone come back out again. But I think decisions needed to be made off the back of Charlton because it was that bad. And I think you've seen going into sort of the game Saturday, the game Sunday, that certain conversations have been had and certain decisions have been made, whether it be internal, appointments to be put into place into the side, i.e. Jack Hunt's come from nowhere all of a sudden and is back in the side. I think people have had to swallow their pride and bite their tongue and say, look, if you want us to get out of this, we need some men. We need some men in this team. And and it's no surprise. I know things have come out and things have been said diplomatically to give Lindsay and Shaq a bit of breathing space, but 2 and 2 make 4, don't they? That they were bad. They were bad at Charlton, and like I said, Shaq of all, like Lindsay's a senior pro. He's got a lot of runs on the board, and stuff happens, and sometimes you have a bad one. But for Shaq to come from where he's come from at his age, got no runs on the board, and chucking a performance like that, it ain't acceptable. And that was my biggest fear. My biggest fear Sunday was that kid gets named in the side, because that would just shoot that whole thing to pieces and show you exactly where we are as a team, as an environment, as a club. And thankfully, I think off the back of Charlton, Calderon, Friend and co have sat down and gone, look, we got things that need to happen here. Stuff needs to change. So I think it might have been a blessing in disguise, but as far as a performance and a result, non-event, like I said, it was as close to Huddersfield away as you could get.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I said it on the video I did the day after. It was what the most annoying thing for me is that the fact that Charlton didn't have to get out a second gear. That was the most frustrating thing for me. Like I said, it was poor overall. I think, what was it? One shot on target, which came from the Sinclair free kick from about 30 yards out. Like you said, there was literally nothing. The only couple of shining lights were Hutchinson when he come on, and Gatlin O'Donkor, which has been for quite a while, to be honest. Yeah, and
we all predicted a defeat. But there's ways of getting beat. Ways of getting beat, and that didn't come close. And like I said, I think Calderon's still assessing these boys, and he's still trying to understand what he's got in front of him and work a few out. I could tell you now, there's 3 or 4 of them he is not having. He's not having. He's got to tolerate them, and the squad is what it is, and he might have to use them, and he might have to lie through his teeth to a few of them to get us to May. But there's 3 or 4 of these he's not having.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And yeah, like you said, with the with like the Shaq Ford situation, obviously, there was things said, picked up an injury. I mean, we'll see when it comes to obviously Tuesday night what the thing is with that, and obviously the Lindsay thing as well. Josh, what was your quick thoughts, your summary on that Charlton game before we actually talking about the more positive stuff on what actually happened on Sunday?
It was absolutely atrocious.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bad. The first 10 to 15 minutes, I thought, hang on a minute. Like, we look like we could be doing something here. And then that is typical Rovers. The first 10 to 15 minutes, we do look like we're on top of things.
Yeah.
And then we conceded on the 12-minute mark. And then after that, it was like, honestly, after that, it was like boys versus men. It was genuinely like, tell you what it reminded me of. That viral video of those 2, I think it's 2 or 3 like Asian footballers against like 100 kids.
Oh, right, yeah.
And they're running around it was
it was crazy.
It was pathetic. And I think I tweeted I had to delete an original tweet because I was a little bit overly harsh. But I did tweet saying that originally I said I'm starting to actually not like a couple of these players, like because of the effort that's actually being put in, the body language and the attitude on some people was absolutely steaming. It was awful. I was seeing players walk back.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not surprised that a couple of players were left out going into Posh. Whether it is true that there's an injury or where, I don't know. I think it could be a little bit of kind of hashtag sideline time for Lindsay and Ford, because the signings that we've made in January transfer window, you would think that they're going to be on the bench or in the squad. So
yeah,
that's it. I think I don't see. We're not in any cup competitions. I don't really see much changing now going forward in that sense. And if you put in performances like that, do you deserve to start? When you see how Scotty Sinclair conducts himself, when you see how Jack Hunt conducts himself, and he wants to kick up a fuss, obviously, but he hasn't, because he's a model pro. He works hard, he runs hard, and this is a guy that was basically told you can leave in the summer, got transfers denied. Like and he still remained a model professional. And then you get players that are starting week in, week out, who are, this could be your spot for the next 2-3 years. Like, take it, and you get.
That's what I mean. They're on, a lot of them are on long contracts, aren't they? As well. That's the
exactly
thing.
That. So, pathetic. That's the one word to use. Pathetic.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and we've said it. Well, we've said it countless times, haven't we? Like you said, it's just it's just frustrating, the fact that it's, like you said, the difference. And I know our home form isn't amazing, but if it wasn't for our home form, we'd definitely be in, obviously, the relegation zone.
Home form and Griffiths, we'd be screwed.
Yeah, Griffiths as well. Yeah, he's been obviously quality, and we'll obviously get into that in a minute. But yeah, also I want to do a shout out to Isaac Hutchinson's old man, because he was at the game. He come up to me, and he actually watches the podcast. So shout out if he's watching now or on the replay. But yeah, shout out to Isaac Hutchinson's old man as well. I think his name's Toby. Absolute legend of a guy. So appreciate that. But yeah, it was just, it was like you said, there was nothing good to come out of that, other than it wasn't 4-5, and it would have been if it weren't for Griffiths. But yeah, we'll get into the window first, and then we'll get on to Posh. So overall, there was 21 signings from the summer till now overall, but now we've only got 18 remaining. Obviously, you had Garrett, Forbes go back, Josh Griffiths got recalled. So yeah, a lot of movement in those sort of 8 to 6 months, if you count the right at the start of the summer transfer window. But yeah, during the January transfer window, 3 main outgoings. Obviously, you've got all the youth players, Dewsbury going out on another loan. But yeah, you obviously, Maka, Blongo. Obviously, we've talked about most of them, even most of the players that have come in. 5 players coming in. You obviously had Sawyers right near the start, Butcher on loan, Sil Swinkles. Still keep laughing when I say that. Reindorf, and of course the interesting one that was right at the last minute, literally, is Miles Roberts. Obviously, Calderon did say a week or 2 ago that he did want 3 keepers. He obviously wanted a main backup because Hall was nowhere near ready. And then, obviously, I think the main thing, especially about deadline day, was obviously the goalkeeper madness. Obviously, earlier on in the day, got on my lunch break, saying that, what's the West Brom keeper's name that went to Alex Palmer? Was linked with the move to Ipswich, and then there was talk of, can we recall Jed or not, and all that stuff. And then obviously Jed gets recalled, and then Miles Roberts comes in. We'll quickly talk about the situation first. Obviously, gutting to lose Griffiths. He was, like you said, everyone knows it. He's been brilliant. Jed, of course, has done very well at Forest Green. Jed was actually at the game. He does when Forest Green ain't been playing this season. He has been to a lot of games at home. But yeah, he's recalled after 10 clean sheets in 28 games. And then Miles Roberts, who Watford, 23 years of age, had a successful loan spell with Partick Thistle, and he comes in. I'll go to you, Neil. What did you make of all that? Obviously, hearing that Griffiths recalled, Ward coming back, and then signing Miles Roberts as well. What do you make on that situation with the goalkeepers?
I was pretty relaxed about it, to be honest. Like, as long as the option for Jed to come back, pretty relaxed about it. Like, the way I look at it, like, Griff's done great. He's done great. But with the option of Jed being able to come back, from what I saw of Jed playing League One football towards the end of last season, I had no issues with him. What is the best part of Griffith's game? Shot stopping, but without doubt, as the best part of his game. Yeah. Same as Jed. And I just think I've got no concerns whatsoever with Jed going goal for the last, what have we got, 18 games.
Yeah.
If he does go with Jed, I've got no issue with it. The other lad, I've got no idea about. But at the end of the day, I understand the process of wanting another goalkeeper in because iron sharpens iron and all that. He's got no relationship with Jed, has he, Calderon? He's got no. He's got nothing, not like fans have. He's got nothing to go on. So he's got two blank canvases in front of him. And ultimately, he'll pick who he thinks is better for the job with, obviously, the new guy he's brought in of the goalkeeping department with conversations of what he thinks best. But ultimately, because he's got no relationship with either of them, as far as working with him previously, knowing him, or it's back to the drawing board and it's best man takes a shirt, isn't it? But as far as if you're thinking with a gut feeling as a Rovers fans, you'll go with Jed, wouldn't you? Because you've known it, you've seen it, you know what he can do, you know what his capabilities are, and you're comfortable with him. I was pretty relaxed about the whole thing, to be honest. Like I don't know what the new guy is like. Never seen him play or anything, but ultimately, all it's going to do is push him and make one of them better. Because, like you said, with all due respect, Matt's not a football league goalkeeper. Like there's a
no.
Like most League One, League Two sides, there's a budget to work to, and the guy that sits on the bench is on peanuts because he's, he just needs someone there to hopefully get you over the line in game. But if ever there was a situation where we didn't have a goalkeeper and Matt had to go and goal for like 2, 3, 4 games, we'd be looking elsewhere.
Yeah, 100%. Yes, like in the summer, Melksham. Even at the Swindon game, it was a bit of a madness.
But he knows his role. He knows what it's about. Like it's a specialist thing to do, second and third goalkeeper, because you mentally got to be in a different place.
Yeah. But 100%. Like we said, Calderon did want that. Of course, it was frustrating, obviously, to not get another striker, but we'll get into that in a sec. But there's to be fair, I looked at Watford's social as well, and to be fair, a lot of fans were nearly pushing that Roberts to start for them because I think it's Backman or Jonathan Bond as well that have been underwhelming for them. So there was a lot of obviously Watford fans maybe thinking that he might get to play for the first team there. But he did do well at Partick Thistle. A lot of good reviews. Stats wise, he done really well. Didn't concede many goals. A lot of clean sheets. Josh, what did you make of the whole situation? Obviously, like a lot of us, it was obviously gutting, innit? Never fall in love with a lone player, and then he gets recalled obviously last minute. What did you make of the whole situation?
When that first tweet came through, I thought, oh, here we go then. And you knew what was coming. Listen, if we wouldn't have had Jed, I would have been absolutely like, oh my days. Because what Josh Griffiths did show is in his shot stopping ability is that he's a championship shot stopper.
Yeah.
I mean, wasn't the best with his feet, I suppose, but we didn't really play to that. That's not what he was there for a while. And he was absolutely Goliath in there for us. He really was. So we'll miss him, and the lads will miss him. The comments on his the goodbye post was like people were absolutely gutted, all the players. But I also think as well that what Neil said about there's no relationship with Cowley and Jed. There's also not really much of a relationship between the players that are here now, all the new players, and Jed as well.
Yeah.
So it's like no one really knows about Jed. We do as fans, and that's why I wasn't concerned, because I still have memories of that Oxford game at home last season when he was absolutely unbelievable. He was great. He was great. He was held in high regard with Barton. He was held in high regard with Taylor. He was held in high regard with the hierarchy. Yes, okay, he's gone on loan or whatever, but Forest Green, he was unbelievable there. Made more pen saves than you could imagine. Like he's a competent, good young player, and I think he'll slot right in. I would be a bit surprised if he went with Roberts in goal. I would be, to be honest, because of what Jed means to the club, and he's one of our own. I would be surprised, but because I think also Scottish Championship level, like it's, I don't know, like, do you know what I mean? It's not, you know, it's not exactly that competitive, is it? Let's be honest. But whereas Jed's got games in League One, kept clean sheets in League One, won us games in League One. Like I would see Jed coming in and starting, but listen, what do I know? They've got a new goalkeeping coach as well, so it'll be fresh opinion. The only thing that might sway it to Roberts is that Roberts knows the goalkeeping coach. They've worked together at Reading, so that might be a slight bit of a. But again, it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start for Jed to kind of, because he keeps doing this, doesn't he? He's on loan, recalled, has to play for a bit. Goes on loan, recalled, has to play for a bit. So I'm hoping that he can embed himself.
I think the thing with Jed is the big picture is he's a key asset to the football club. That's the bigger picture for the football club is make shitload of money out of this.
Yeah.
So it ain't going to be long until he's getting runs on the board in League One for us. So I think given whatever they look at from now until the end of the season, he's fully going to be part of the furniture going into pre-season and next season. I think what has happened at the minute is to get us over the line to May.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Tom Butler saying we'll miss him as he's better than Jed, but hopefully the gap between them isn't too big. Yeah, that's. I think that's the main problem as well. Probably why we've seen so good of Josh Griffiths is because the amount of chances we concede. Like he made the most saves out of any keeper by a long stretch, and yes, it's been crazy. That obviously needs to improve. To get that sort of overall balance right between midfield, defense, mistakes. Mistakes is the main one. That's where a lot of goals have been conceded throughout the season. It is mistakes. Obviously, we'll get into the Peterborough game in a minute to talk about, because there were quite a few mistakes and a massive sitter that we got very lucky with. Jed will be our number one next season. But that's the thing, though. Like Neil said, it's sort of, we can all say, Jed's one of our own and all this stuff, and he signed a new contract. But like you said, Calderon, he's not seen him. He might have had a few words with him, etc., like over the phone or obviously in training and stuff like that since he's been back or whatever. But like you said, it's a blank canvas for him. So yeah, like you said, and yeah, new goalkeeping coach. Obviously, Scott Brown left. The new one come in. To be fair, I didn't realise Roberts worked with him. At Reading. So that is an interesting one. But like you said, it's competition, unique competition. We've got a very quite a big squad. Obviously, new centre back coming in, new striker, new midfielders. The midfield there's a lot of midfielders. Obviously, Conte's still out injured. But yeah, there is a lot of midfielders. Obviously, up front is weak at the moment. Obviously, only two at the moment that are fit. One question I want to ask you and Josh put it out a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, when he got recalled from a certain League Two club. But I know what probably Neil and most Rovers fans' thoughts might be, but do you reckon there's any hope for Jevani Brown with this injury? You could call it crisis up front. Obviously, depending, we don't know how long the injury is to Odonka. It is a hamstring injury, but there's different, obviously, levels to how severe it could be. But I want to go with you first, Neil. Do you reckon there's a chance that he gets within the fold, or do you reckon, from what, how obviously poor the loan was at Notts County, and considering he's out of contract in the summer, do you think he gets back in or has a chance, or do you reckon that's him done in a Rovers shirt?
The only way I see Jevani Brown playing is if needs must. I think it'd be final choice. If it'll be needs must for him to play. I think due to the fact that if you look at what he's churned out for Rovers as far as performances and the way he plays, his athleticism, all the things that Calderon wants from his side, he don't tick the boxes, Jevani.
Yeah.
Like the Exeter Browns a different conversation, but from what we've seen in a Rovers shirt is a million miles off of what right. I'll go back to the Shaq thing, right? I know we'll go into Peterborough, but imagine what we saw Sunday. Take one of them front three, like off of the centre forward, out of that, put either Shaq or Brown in there, system's shot to pieces. Like you can't do it. So I think it hurts you massively if you try and accommodate someone who don't do the hard yards off the ball. And
especially within this style now.
I think, like I said, the Exeter Browns a different conversation.
Yeah.
What we've seen, it hurts you massively throwing someone like that into it, open that he's going to do what is asked of him off the ball.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, two league goals? Yeah, and I don't know in how many games. I haven't got the stats right in front of me, but yeah, 2 league goals. Obviously the flick against Carlisle and the worldie against Port Vale, but yeah, apart from that, it's just not worked out at all. Bengal, I think James Wilson deserves a new contract.
Yes,
do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah, for me. Yeah, Neil, what would you say?
I'd have no issues if Willow got another deal. To be honest, like I've said it all along, our centre backs have never been the issue. Our centre halves have never been the issue with this. Got no problem with them, either of them.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, we do agree. Josh saying Jevani Brown should be playing. Jevani, Ford, Lindsay need to buck up their ideas. Yeah, I mean, this is one we'll probably do it in another episode because we've still got quite a lot to talk through. But that is a good. We'll probably do a bit more nearer to the end of the season. We will do one on the out contract players. We might do either a pre-record or a live stream just to talk about that because there is a lot of out of contract players and of course loan players going back as well. Yeah, Josh, you obviously put that tweet out not long ago. With the eyes emoji and thinking, what's your thoughts now? Do you think he should be given a chance, or do you agree with me and Neil? Just the fact that what we've seen from him playing for Rovers, he shouldn't be given another chance.
The best way I can describe Jevani Brown is that he thinks he is / he acts as though he's a luxury player in a team where you need to work hard.
Yeah.
So it's just not going to work, is it? Let's be honest. What I do like about Cowdy is it's like, I don't care if you're on £7,000 a week or if you're on £500 a week, you run hard for this team, and if you don't, then you're not playing. And Jevani Brown will not run hard.
Yeah.
So I put it more out there because I was wondering what people would think, because I was thinking that if it's about style of play, I think he would actually flourish under Calderon. But it's not just about the style of play.
Yeah, basic.
Exactly that. You go forward, you do all your tick-attack or whatever you want to do going forward. But if you lose the ball, you bust a gut to get back. And he's not going to do that. So no, I don't expect him to play. Unless he starts doing it in training. I don't expect him to play, because who are you gonna take out that? He loves Scott Sinclair. I know that he's the skipper, but he likes Sinclair. He works hard, and then you've got Soteriou, Hutchinson, Thomas. He ain't budging anyone out the way. You've got Donkor, you've got Reindorf, and you've got Martin. He's not playing, but it just was interesting because I thought if it comes
to see what other people thought as well.
Yeah, exactly. And if it came down to talent alone, I reckon he'd play. But it's not just about talent.
It's not just talent.
It's not just about talent. It's you have to work hard, and that's something that LT and Soteriou both do.
Yeah,
Jevani Brown may be more talented naturally, but the other two work incredibly hard.
Yeah, yeah.
And you have to. So my short answer to that is no, I don't see it.
Yeah. What's that? There's that quote from Ronaldo, something about
hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Something
and
like that.
that's basically like you said, if you're not gonna work hard first and foremost,
That's
you ain't playing in this Saudi team.
Who was that that striker for Real Madrid who just wasn't very good, but he scored a ton of goals because he just worked at it every day? Was it Raul? No, is it Raul?
He was really good, mate.
Raul
Nothing to do with him not being any good.
No,
he was a gun.
No, but who is it? There's one player that played for Real Madrid, and he wasn't naturally that gifted, but he just worked.
Recently or
like back. That's who they put the picture with when they attached that that quote. I can't remember his name. Anyway, it will come to me. But yeah. You have to work hard, and to play in certain systems, you have to work hard. I mean, again, I'm not saying we're anywhere near it, but you look at Arteta, you look at Emery, you look at these Basque managers, you look at whatever his name is at Bournemouth, can't remember his name.
Yeah, Areola.
Areola. Your wingers also have to work hard. You look at Semenyo, you look at Kluivert, you look at Martinelli, you look at Bailey, Watkins, you look at all these guys that you work hard in those teams. And Jevani Brown, in my opinion, is not prepared to work hard. He's like a Mesut Ozil, but just less talented, and we don't have the players around him, and you have to work hard. So he's not playing.
Yeah, 100%. Ben saying that. Well, non-league player, we had one good
harsh, but same
season. Even in Rob Savek as well. No worries. Thanks for tuning in, though. Keep hitting the like button. Keep getting in your comments. If you've got, like I said, questions. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Before we get into Posh, just a quick roundup. Neil, what do you make of the whole January window anyway? Getting in, like I said, Sawyers, Butcher, Swinkles, Reindorf, and obviously we've talked about the goalie, but what's your overall thoughts on it? And also, what rating would you give, and what else did you want personally?
I mean, it depends on whatever your expectation is. Like, if you wanted perfect, then tough luck. But I mean, I was pretty comfortable with it, to be honest. I think it's more than acceptable. What January's there to do is to get you to what you need to do come May. Got a load of loans in. Identified that you needed a certain type of character and individual in the centre of the pitch. Tick. Needed a bit of volume scattered elsewhere. Got a what seems to be a centre forward in the mould of promise that is just over the bridge. Tick. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you can keep on going on about. Would have been nice to have another fullback. Would have been nice to have another winger, but it's not a necessity. And what you've got to do to get to May is just get the essentials done to get you where you need to be. All this could do with another striker. You don't need it. Like, you want it, but you don't need it. Like this squad has got enough in it to muddle through to get what it needs to do till May. So
I agree.
I mean, if I'm gonna put a number on it, I'm more than happy with it. If it's 8.5 or something like that. Yeah,
that's fair enough. There was obviously a lot of comments earlier. I think there was 6 from Chris, 5 from Bueno's Ding Dong. Keep getting your ratings as well if you haven't already. Even into Ross as well. Even into Matt's. Matt's has gone 6 out of 10. I'm looking forward to seeing who the new striker think could be signing of this. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing the new striker. I think he could be. Well, hopefully he does well. He's very raw. That's what a lot of Cardiff fans have said. I've seen they posted on the Rovers thing. Obviously, got pace. Got a bit of trickery. Like I said, it's very raw. He's not played lots of games. Done well for the under-21s, but don't really mean nothing. But hopefully he can just add, like you said, he can be that sort of pressing forward that, we've, with what Promise has been, what Gatlin's been. Obviously Martin isn't that, but Martin, if you play to his strengths like we did when he come on, you'll see the best of Chris Martin. Sawyers has already been at fault for 3 goals, hopeless at marking set pieces. He's been a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. Ben saying 8 out of 10 for me. Side business. Butcher looks like exactly what we were missing with Conte out. He allows others like Ward to flourish. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we'll get on to Butcher, but yeah, he's already up. Yeah, a lot of you that watch, League One football anywhere would already have known of Butcher. But yeah, he's just that missing part, which we definitely needed. Josh, what would your rating be, and how would you sum up the overall window with the 5 players coming in?
I'm one of these guys, that like, I think sometimes I get sucked into a few things, and then actually when I take a step back,
no one's gonna laugh then.
I step back and I think we didn't need 2 strikers. Like, I get why there's a bit of a panic about it, but like, what you're gonna do? Sign 2 strikers and have 4 or 5 strikers at the club, and then have to leave 3 out every week. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not. I can understand why the club haven't panic bought in that sense. I think Butcher for me will be one of the January transfer window signings of the whole of League One.
Or League One, yeah.
Because League One, not necessarily because he's going to go and get us promoted, but because it's what he will actually bring. He was absolutely unbelievable against Posh, but we'll get into that.
Yeah.
I think Silswinkles, a lot of people will also sit and go, yeah, he's unbelievable. No one's watched him play. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I've watched one game.
Do you know what I mean? Like, let's not pretend like we actually know who he is. Again, Miles Roberts, no one knows who he is. Again, you've played for Partick Thistle, but again, he gives you that backup and he'll push Jed. I'm okay with that. Sawyers, I actually have been disappointed with so far, and I don't want to start scapegoating whatever, but he has been a bit poor. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Now the Reindorf thing, I get that people are excited about this. Because of his record for the Cardiff under-21s or whatever.
But also people getting gassed up from his 30-minute...
When he played against us, and he did bully us, to be fair. But if you go a little bit further back, his record for Norwich City Academy was like 48, 49 games, and he got like 4 or 5 goals.
Yeah.
As a striker. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's not going to set the world alight. But he
may do, but like you said, looking at it.
He may do, because we also look at like a Donker and whatever, and I'm not saying he has, but it's just we've gone for specific molds, but eventually Omocheri will be back. Like we need to just get through to May. I actually think it wasn't the worst window in the world. Like, it wasn't. I think actually we didn't address one of the places we did need, but I guess that's because Jack Hunt's maybe come back in the fold. So, and I think the fact that Jack Hunt hasn't left in January potentially might be an indicator that he's probably going to be part of the squad now moving forward. He should be. So, for me, I've got no real quarrels with it. Like, it is what it is. It was sensible business. We needed to get stuff done, and like no issues whatsoever. No issues whatsoever. And I'm excited to see these boys play because, they're young, exciting talent according to their parent clubs, which obviously they're always going to say to get them a move, but they're young, exciting talents, and let's give it a go. Let's give it a go till May, mate.
Yeah, 100%. Everyone getting in the comments as well. I'd probably give it a 7.
Fair.
Yeah, for me, I would have gone for another striker, but that's me, and it is what it is. Hopefully, it doesn't affect us too much. Hopefully, we still got Martin, obviously Reindorf, other players can play there as well. So, let's see. It's obviously going to be interesting next season as well, because again, although we signed a lot in the summer just gone, I think it's going to be still not as many as usual, because there's still obviously a lot of them are on longer contracts, but I still think there'll be, especially in the striker department, it's going to be interesting with Martin will probably leave. He's out of contract, of course, but yes, it's going to be an interesting one. But let's get into Peterborough. Obviously, really good win. Our 6th home win of the season, back-to-back home wins, 6 goals in the last 2. Like I said, completely chalk and cheese to the away form. And it's quite interesting as well. That, like I said, we haven't been perfect at home, but we've lost less than Orient at home, and we've lost the same amount of Huddersfield games at home. which is I thought was quite. I had a look earlier on at the home league table. Obviously, the away form is relegation, 3 wins out of 15. But yeah, good win. Should have been more. Yeah, Peterborough. I said it in my reaction. Yeah, that they're the worst team we faced, but I think, yeah, obviously good win. We needed that win. Obviously went above them, and hopefully now we can just continue that. Yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts to just add on from what I already said. Neil, what did you make of that win? Obviously, I'm guessing you're going to agree with and also they're definitely the worst Posh team I've ever seen as well. And obviously, that clip that I put out, I watched it the other day and I was like, yeah, I knew I thought we were gonna win anyway. But when I seen that clip, from there, I think it was Thursday or Friday they did the episode up the Poshcast. When I seen that clip, I was like, yeah, we're definitely winning after he said that. And yeah, it was very, very comfortable. Yeah, thoughts, Neil, on the Posh win?
Yeah, I don't disagree with. That's the worst Posh side I've ever seen play us. Like they were miles off it. That reeks of a team that base their model on picking gems up from non-league, and they've just fallen short. Like
and not replaced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just one of them where you just it's worked so well for him. It's just eventually it was going to fall short. And it looks like, I mean, I know we've seen what we've seen Sunday, but if you look at their February, that could be terminal. Their February is minging. Like they've got a right run of games. Imagine that lot going to Stevenage. They will get bounced all over the place. Like, I mean, changes needed to be made following Charlton. It was like, that's what I mean. I think conversations have been had, and I mean the Jack Hunt one. I think that stinks of a. If he plays, he triggers a clause, and I think that they've just gone. Well, just pay the man his money. Do you know what I mean? Because like, if you want, you're going to have to pay someone to come in anyway to fill the spot. Because what we've seen of a right back situation is we've not been blessed with what we want them to do. So you might as well just pay Jack Hunt his money, trigger the clause, and like let him earn his dough and wave him off in the summer. So, but having said that, absolutely nobody expected that 70 minutes off of Jack Hunt. That was like an unreal performance for someone who's been out in the cold for so long, not kicked a ball. To expect to see that, you can't expect to see that off. He's not like, you know what I mean? He's not Cafu. Do you know what I mean?
It happened last season though.
But so if he didn't put that shift in, you'd think that was a poor performance.
No, I thought he was.
I mean, if he didn't put that shift in on Saturday and he just had a 4 out of 10 performance, you'd go, well, Jack Hunt should have done better, even though he hadn't kicked a ball in months on end. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I was confident. He's got quality.
But you were expecting to see exactly what you saw from him on Saturday. You didn't exceed expectations. That's exactly what you expected to see.
Of course.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought he was going to play well, but
that's what I'm saying.
Trusted him. I know he hasn't played for ages.
When I say nobody expected to see him do what he did, I'm not saying no one expected him to play well, but he exceeded expectations of what he delivered for 70 minutes of the shift.
100%.
Not only that, if you look, when I say about that side, it's been crying out for men like all season. Yeah. Butcher's come in, he's anchored that midfield better than anyone has all season for us. Yeah. Hunt's come in. Look at what Jack Hunt did before kickoff. The way he got round all of them players, laid down his markers, his intentions, and I said to my lad, he's going to have to put in a damn good shift now because he started rallying troops and pointing fingers and making people accountable for what he expects. Now you've got to go and deliver. He did and all.
Yeah.
The Butcher one for me, what he's done is underpinning our midfield. He's allowed one midfield to go on from him, so it frees up Ward to go in. Enhance winning the ball back quicker. But if you look at what's happened on Sunday, if you go back 3 games, so that stretch of 4 games where we've gone Barnsley, Wigan, no, what is it?
Yeah.
Barnsley, Wigan, Charlton. This side is until May, it will be roulette. It's red or black because this side has to front load itself. If it doesn't front load itself, what you get is Wigan and you get Charlton. If you front load yourself and your personnel do what it can do as far as getting after a side and locking on to their first third and not letting them out, you'll get the Barnsley and you'll get the Sunday performance. But you're not. This side's too far gone to be able to get that right every single week. So you're going to see Jekyll and Hyde right until May now, but enough to get us over the line and keep us up. But when I say this side has to front load itself, it has to be aggressive off the ball, which is why I'm saying Shaq needs to change his game. If you're going to bring Brown into it, he has to change his game because them lads need to lock on to that. Yeah. The Nevitt thing was hilarious. Like he did what you want your centre half to do, and he left something massive on a donkle, like absolutely wiped him out to the point where I thought this kid is in a world of trouble. But and if you're on that Posh bench, you're rubbing your hands together and saying, "Well done, son, exactly what I want." You let him know he was there, and you've left loads on him. Enter Chris Martin, his ass went.
Yeah.
Chris Martin went and stood right on it. Right, okay, if you're about it, let's see. And he just ragdolled him, and he had to drag him because he was a lost little boy when he had to come up against Chris Martin. But essentially, the tail of the tape is we had an aggressive front four, underpinned by a midfielder that kept our shape off the ball, which allowed another midfielder to go in and go and getting the ball back higher. You look at our centre halves stepping out and intercepting balls because their centre halves they've had to, because they haven't got the likes of Edwards and Burrows who can step out with the ball. They're asking their centre halves to fizz 40-yard balls into their centre forwards, and they can't do it. And they're telegraphing it. Willow and Taylor are stepping in, intercepting the ball, and we're going again. And again, like I'm saying, it's waves and waves and waves of exhausting them to the point where they couldn't even go long. They couldn't go long. They had nothing in their tank to get out. So this side, in a nutshell, look at the last 4 games. Charlton unacceptable, Wigan unacceptable because they haven't front loaded themselves, because they couldn't get it out of their system. They couldn't get into it and do it, which is my concern for this side when we have to do Saturday, Tuesday, because we're limited to the sort of players that can do it week in, week out, to go and front load themselves every single week, high energy, aggressive, off the ball. So I don't know if we've got the ability in our ranks to back it up every single week. Well, I know we haven't, and we'll be looking over our shoulder right until May, but I think we'll be fine. But that's a tale of a tape. Got to be aggressive off the ball. Got to lock on to their front, their back sort of 4 or 5, or when they want to play out. And if you don't do it, we're in all sorts of trouble. And I think you look at that midfield, throw a fit Conte into that mix, we'll be in a good space as far as playing sides in and around us in where we are in that table. We're going to come up against sides that look to do what we do better than us. And that's just how it is. So I've got no concerns going into May with what we've got and what we can do as far as results. And if I'm a Posh fan, I'm really concerned. Yeah,
100%.
They're going to be dragged. They're going to be banging it.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially at the end of the month.
Yeah. If you haven't looked already, honestly, go and have a look. It's tragic for them. I agree. Butcher, I said it. He was always there as an option. He was always there, even though he was in that anchor role. He was just always there as an option. And the composure, it was all about composure for me. He obviously made that mistake early on, but after that, he was always there. And like I said before, I've seen him a lot. He was obviously in the title-winning team at Plymouth, and I know it's his first game, and obviously, but hopefully, judging on that, he started a lot of games in all comps apart from the league. So if you're looking at that thinking, wow, that was his 4th league start of the season. But this is why I said to you. This is why I said to you at half time about Butcher when I seen you at half time. It was an educated performance from him, because he don't know any of these boys. He's trained with them once. He went in there and did a measured job of going, do you know what? Just going to hold me shape, see what's in front of me, observe, and then grow into the game. Because if you look at when I talk about shape, never drifted anywhere. Stayed within his 18-yard box. Sat deep and anchored, saw everything that was going on in front of him, became first receiver off his fullbacks and goalkeeper, and let everything happen in front of him, and didn't drift, didn't get dragged out to wide areas or try and recover anything in wide areas, even if it was looking shaky. He just underpinned us and held his shape, which allowed the 2 in front of him to go about their business. Yeah, 100%. And also, he's good at set pieces, which is another plus, because we've not had many. Before I let Josh have his thought, I just want to big up to Hutch as well, and Sotirio. Sotirio, I thought, was brilliant. Like you talked about work rate. Every time they were coming, like if they were attacking, he was tracking back in the end, going forward. He looked
He's
really
playing
good.
with purpose now, though, isn't he? Sotirio's playing with purpose. I said to you before, if you look at him, he's a busy fool. Runs everywhere needlessly, without the ball and with it, needlessly. He was a bit... Saturday, he was direct, and he had a picture in his head of what he wanted to do, but the picture's been put in place by the coaching staff and Caldron exactly of what he wants to implement, because before, the Taylor regime, like I said, he was a busy fool. Like, loads of legs, loads of energy, loads of running, but going nowhere fast.
Yeah. Completely agree. And it was just, and I'm guessing you would probably agree, Neil. But when I obviously was with Josh Saturday, we agreed that was probably our best. Obviously, apart from Conte, that was probably. Would you say that's our strongest? When that 11 come out, did you think that's probably our strongest team?
I don't know. I think the result and the result in the performance at 90 minutes, you look at that afterwards and think maybe so. But beforehand, I don't know. Maybe. I think if you're looking at Conte has to go in there. I think as far as if you're going to pick a basic 11. But like I said before, I've had no issues with our centre halves. The fullbacks now pick himself as far as the one on the other side, as far as how we want to go about doing our business and playing. I think, Butcher, Ward, Conte, you ain't far off it. I think you'll probably be there or thereabouts, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Josh, what was your thoughts? Obviously, we were both confident going into the game. Obviously, Neil predicted a 1-1. Me and obviously we didn't put our normal predictions out like we do, but obviously, unfortunately they don't count towards the predictions league. But both confident before the game. But I wasn't expecting it to be that easy. What did you make of the game and our performance especially, but also Peterborough?
Peterborough were shit, weren't they? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, they were so bad. Like, I remember thinking, like, if we can't beat this lot when they're right down in the slumps here, that says something.
Yeah.
Annoyingly, if I'm going to be picky, they still had chances.
Yeah. But that's the thing. A lot of them, they were pretty much through our mistakes. Like, I can't believe
when Ward played it through, I can't believe he missed it.
That Swedish kid who they've not long just signed. What?
Yeah, Lundstrom, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, or Lindgren or whatever.
That's
what a miss!
I don't know how he's missed that, but
yeah.
I think you need players in sides that kind of just elevate everyone else, or make everyone else just look better, even though they're not maybe doing anything else differently. But for instance, it's like sometimes we see in games where, Taylor will try and absolutely ping it side to side, or Wilson will have to go on this run back, and yet when Butcher was in there, he was always available. So it always looked like our centre halves or anybody who was playing just knew. It looked like they had gelled, and actually, I think that was just down to his just positioning and his kind of reading of the game. He was always there. He broke up play when he needed. I didn't know he was so tall as well. Like he looked, he looked really, really, really kind of. He had stature about him as well. Like I've seen him play loads of times, but I've never really looked at him as obviously as a Rovers player. And I stopped to consider, Christ, he's a big boy.
Yeah, he talks well.
Got across the pitch quite well. His left peg was unbelievable from those set pieces. He just made us tick. And when he was playing, I remember thinking, so this is what a midfielder should be doing then.
Yeah.
He was superb. I'm gutted for Donk because I thought that he's been playing himself into form. Yeah. I'm really happy for Sotirio because I think if he would have had one more Charlton performance, you're starting to get a little bit frustrated with him. And look, he gave it a big one. He seems like he wants to prove all Gashead's wrong. Like he seems like he wants to be here and show why we brought him in, and he's on 7K a week allegedly. I agree with both of you on Jack Hunt. He did exceed expectations for sure because no one expected him to come out and be like that. as in 70 minutes of like top-notch performance. But I also agree with you, Char, because we know the level that he can play at. So that's his level. But it was just you've come out of cold.
Yeah, I mean that was his fourth league start and his first game of any count since the Western game in November.
Right. Yeah. Ridiculous. So he was superb. And he changes that right hand side. Like him and LT
levels,
isn't
it? It's levels. It's literally levels.
Him and LT was like watching blooming Ben White and Saka. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was they understood each other very well. Obviously, I'm being tongue in cheek. Everybody, let's clarify. LT is nowhere near Saka level.
We know Jack Hunt is better than Ben White. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, very funny. That understanding was just there. Like it seemed natural, you know, like obviously they're nowhere near that talent, but it was just the kind of understanding of where they'd be. And it was like LT was like, oh, thank God someone is back that can overlap me and actually deliver. I think I counted Jack Hunt delivered like 4 crosses in the first like 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah, like crazy.
Mad, he made player running. Oh, it was fantastic. And
like you said though, sorry to butt in, but like you said though, it's the fact that Thomas is being overlapped, which is not hardly happened all season long. Only when Hunt's played. Exactly
that, and even if he has been overlapped, at least you then get the quality to know how to put it on someone's head. And I just thought they were. I mean, Chris Martin was doing flicks and tricks.
Yeah,
I just told you. Chris Martin also looked like he had a bit of pace about him. I don't know if it's because he's cut off half his hair, but Chrissy Martin was doing flicks and tricks. He sent Satirio running. We look great. I am still frustrated slightly about that clean sheet because
very annoying.
I feel like Griffiths, like, all right, he had to make quite a few saves and they were a lot at him, but I just feel like, he deserved that clean sheet. You know, it was again what Neil said, that the centre backs aren't really were the issue, and in that game they weren't the issue. You know, Ward was the one who gave it away, etc. So I was gutted about the clean sheet, but really happy to see a right good go at a team. Like we were right in their faces, like we were proper in their face. The high press was just they couldn't deal with it. They could not deal with it, and they've got players like Mothersill and RJJ. They've got the smallest man in the world, Lord Farquaad, Abraham Odo. Like they've got so many players that can absolutely hurt you. Chris Con Clark, you know, and we just smothered them. And I thought it was great. I was really, really impressed. Like I remember saying at halftime in my vlog, I said on camera, we aren't losing this game. Whereas other games we've been in the past, when I've been there, we can still feel that shakiness. Like we just felt so in control. It was great, and I honestly think Butcher had a lot to do with that. And I know I'm hailing and praising him a lot, but he added so much in that midfield in one game. He added so much. It was debut levels of when Conte came in, you know, and everyone was like, "Whoa!"
Yeah,
I thought he was fantastic. I thought we were fantastic.
But like Sunday should finally put pay to the myth that you can't press a side with an immobile centre forward. It's a nonsense. It's rubbish. It's such a bad take that. It's just such a lazy take that is you ain't got a centre forward that can run, therefore you can't squeeze onto a side. It's nonsense.
100%. Yeah,
it's funny because Chris Martin would still beat all of us in a race, in a foot race.
He wouldn't beat me in a foot race, mate. He wouldn't.
Yeah, he ain't beating me in a foot race. You're having a laugh.
Hayner,
you're having a laugh.
You're having a laugh, mate. You're a smoker.
It doesn't matter, mate. 100 meters, mate. I'm sprinting.
You ain't beating Chrissy Martin. Not a professional football player over 100 meters. No way.
What I'm saying is, like, if you play that system properly, he doesn't have to. He just drops. He just drops in, goes 10, 15 deeper, and then you've got all the you've got the 4 behind him that go and hunt in 3s and 4s. Like I was saying the week before, that didn't happen. You've got to go and hunt in packs. The minute you go hunt in 1s and 2s, you get played round. But you need to have the athleticism in your side to go and get after and lock onto a team.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't need Chris Martin to do that. He just comes and he just pulls back into it and keeps shape.
And I think that what you say there is when he kept shape, we countered he was where he should have been. Flicked it through to Cicero. He runs on and scores.
Yeah, Flick was lovely, man.
Oh,
Flick.
mate, it was. I honestly had to double check if it was him who played it through.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Even before you seen when he come on against Barnsley in the Cambridge game, you've seen what he can. Like, a lot of people have said, like we've been lumping it up to him all season. He's not that type of striker. He's a player that when he holds the ball up, and people run off him. He's never been, even back when he was, in his prime, he was never been a lump up. Just because he's a big, stocky striker, he's never been a lump up and, hoof it up to the top striker. He's always been
he'll be another player that will be happy that Jack Hunt's back in.
Yeah, 100%.
With those deliveries into the box.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Kyogo was saying times have really changed. I've lost count. But yeah, before the game, I think we had one league win in 18 against Peterborough, which was madness. I knew it was bad, but I didn't realise it was that bad. Yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, we'll get into obviously because of the window and that we'll get into Stockport. Obviously the preview finally. Keep it in your comments. Obviously we'll quickly give our thoughts on what we made. Obviously the previous game we lost 2-0. Really, really poor away in that first game. Easy win for Stockport. Obviously, Louis Barry scored a cracker. He's not there now, but they're still on very good form. That was Oliver Norwood's first game as well. He's still in that midfield. I think it's probably one of the best in the league. Norwood and Lewis Bate are really, really got a quality partnership. But yeah, a lot of clean sheets, 12 clean sheets. And listen to this. They are 29 points ahead of us. 29 points. They're on 50. Played 29, won 14, drew 8, lost 7. Currently fourth in the league. 3 clean sheets in a row. Last 5. Beat Orient and Shrewsbury 1-0. Beat Crawley 2-0. Beat Reading 3-1 away from home. That was their last away win before Orient. And then lost 2-1 to Mansfield. So yeah, 4 wins out of 5. Really, really good team. A lot of experience, a lot of quality, heavily backed. The one obviously good few things is that obviously Louis Barry's not there, but like I said, they're still doing well. Horsfall, who they were aiming every time at that home game for, and he actually scored in the end.
He did, yeah.
Unmarked every single time he's injured. They've brought in a few players. They brought in Moxon from Portsmouth on a permanent deal in the window. Brought in Ethan Hamilton, who was making Champions League appearances last season for Man City, but he's on loan for Middlesbrough. They play a 3-4-1-2 with wing backs. Probably star man Carl Wootton, 7 goals, 6 assists. Very good team. And it's going to be obviously a tough game, really tough game. But yeah, Neil, your quick thoughts before we get into lineups and predictions.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a completely different scenario to what you saw Sunday. I think mentioned like Norwood there. When we went to Stockport, that's probably the best dictated midfield performance I've seen since Louis Reed ran us around when he played for Swindon. He was one of the best performances I've seen as a midfielder against us. And then Norwood, but you expect it from Norwood to be different class because of like where he's come from, his pedigree, and what all the rest of it. But again, he's going to do an enhanced version of what Butcher did for us Sunday: be first receiver and get on and make a stick. And if we can't do enough as far as what we did Sunday and lock on to that, getting at him and lock onto it, he's going to run the game and dictate the tempo of that game, where it goes and the direction of it. So it's not stop Norwood, you stop Stockport, because they've got threats elsewhere. Like you said, they were more than comfortable against us. They got so much success from dead balls and set pieces against us. That back stick area, Wootton's a handful with his back to goal. He's going to win loads of fouls. He gives you another option. You've got, what's the name, Olafe the other side, he's got wheels who can run off him. They've got options, like when we spoke about Charlton. They've got a variety of options the way they can get at you. They have 3 or 4 different patterns that they can try and go about it. And Norwood will be at the heart of most of it, as far as being able to pick a pass out from anywhere and being able to dictate play either playing little bounce passes to get himself up the pitch, or spraying a 40-yard zinger that he can land on an handkerchief. It's just, sometimes stuff like that's unplayable. But I think this is going to be really difficult. As high as we are off of what we saw Sunday, we might come crashing back down to earth as realising that, hold on, there's a lot of work to be done here.
Yeah, 100%. Josh, what's your thoughts on Stockport? What have you made of them? Obviously, Louis Barry, but still very good. Squad depth, quality. They're on a high, obviously won the league last season. What do you make of that game?
I mean, when they lost Barry, I thought, okay, we'll see Stockport slow down a bit. If anything, mate, they've sped up. It's ridiculous. I mean, they have a Premier League level football player in their midfield. I mean, yeah, all right. He's I don't know, what is he, 34, something like that, 33, 34. And you're looking at someone here who probably played, I don't know, 30 odd games in the Prem last season. Like it's unplayable. The midfield, I think around that, to see them sat in fourth.
Yeah, fourth position.
It's like,
that's what I mean. 29 points ahead of us. It's mad.
I mean, it's mad. So it will be a very difficult game. Let me have a look now. I think. Let me see what their away. Okay, they've got the 7th best away form in the league.
Yeah. It's 10 points. 10 points worse off than their home form.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I mean, I think when we played them, it was Rio's birthday party on that day, and I remember coming in and out, and I just remember coming in and thinking, oh, 1-0 down, okay, 2-0 down, and then it was just like they just absolutely passed us to death. They can really not humiliate teams in big scorelines because they're not huge big hitters, but they can humiliate sides in the sense that you just don't touch them. I mean, Callum Camps in the midfield, Camps, Norwood. That's a joke.
He hardly plays though. That
I know. This is what I'm saying, but that's what I mean to have that depth and he's
Diamond as well.
Exactly that. To not even be able to get on the pitch or not start away, it's just they're ridiculous. And I have full admiration for what they do because. Where they were last season, what they're doing this season. I mean,
they're a team and a club on the up for sure.
They're a team and a club on the up, and I think that I'm not sure what Stockport fans expected this season, but I would say even if they don't finish in playoffs, even top 10, I think they would have definitely 100% taken that. So I'm thoroughly impressed. They've been absolutely superb and. I quite like a bit of a soft spot for them, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that Challenger, I don't know what his record is at the clubs he's been at, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't finished below 6th or 7th in a league ever. Wow. I'm pretty sure that. Remember Russ that come on last time? I'm pretty sure that's the stat he said. It was crazy.
Oh, that does ring a bell.
Yeah. That Challenger has done bits everywhere. But yeah, we'll get on to lineups. I'm guessing both of you would probably keep the same team, obviously, apart from Gatlin. Hopefully, there's no other things that we know. Obviously, Conte won't be back, and obviously Griffiths, obviously not in goal. What would your team be, Neil? Would the only changes be obviously a Gatlin replacement and Jed Ward coming back in, or would you make any more?
Yeah, I think I'd go Jed in goal and the reindeer up top.
Yeah, me too. That's exactly the same.
Yeah, interesting. I'd go with Martin personally. I think he done well when he come on. Like you said, it's a tough one. Isn't it? Do you go for the young pacey striker first, or do you go for the more experienced striker first? I'd
go for young, hungry, wanting to prove themselves striker in a game where you were probably expected to lose. Just tell him to go in there, look, mate, just be a battering ram and just cause absolute havoc, because Chris Martin came off the bench and played that well the other day. So I do think Martin probably will get the nod, but the reindeer might
The
be
reindeer.
I mean, we've got the donkey and we've got the reindeer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it will be. I think it has to be Jed Ward in goal. Like it just has to be. I mean, that's just my heart speaking that. But yeah, Jed Ward, and then it would be the same, and then Reindeer up top, same as Neil. I think I don't know. I don't know what it is. Just, he's going to be hungry to prove himself against a side where you are thinking we are expected to lose this. Then go and cause chaos, mate.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. Yeah, why can't we play both? Well, we've only got 2 strikers, so it depends. Unless you bring Jevani Brown on the bench, who knows? I don't know. We'd be interested to see the lineup. It'd be a lot of obviously new players and stuff. Where are they all going to play? Is Mola going to be left out? Who's going to be left out? So that'd be interesting. Matt's has gone with his team. He's gone with Roberts in goal. Interesting, very interesting. Reindeer, and then other than that, it's unchanged. So yeah, I've gone with Martin and Jed. Neil and Josh have gone with the Reindeer. The Reindeer.
That's a sick name, isn't it?
Yeah, the Reindeer, mate. Yeah, it's got to be. Hopefully, it'll score. It'll score maybe the winner or something, or it'll get us a goal and a draw, and you could be like, I don't know, the Reindeer. Something about that on the next title. That'd be lovely. Hopefully that happens. Yeah, we'll get into score predictions straight away, and then we'll of course end it. Make sure to everyone in chat right now, leave your predictions. Of course, if you don't leave them now, leave them in the comments. But yeah, I'll go with you, Neil, first. Do you think we'll make it 3 home wins in a row, or do you reckon, we'll come back down to earth against a very, very, very good side?
I think it's one of them that if Stockport play at full tilt and if Rovers play at full tilt, we'll get beat. Sometimes you've got to look at the league and it'll speak for itself,
Yeah.
And we're not a side that can, back up constantly. I mean, we do, like I said about front loading. If you don't get it right, and this side shows that it doesn't get it right every week, then we become, easy targets to get at. Not saying we won't get it right Tuesday, but if you look at, we talk about consistency in a league and what you do as a body of work over 40 games. I know we've just gone like halfway through the season, but if you look at what Stockport have done, they keep ticking boxes, don't they? They're able to get the job. They're able to get the job done. I think they won 1-0 away at Orient, didn't they? Not so long ago. That's a hell of a result, isn't it? So
that was our last game.
Yeah, I think we get edged out. To be honest, I think we get edged out by a good, competent side. I mean, if we play well and we do the things that Calderon wants to do, and we keep trying to ram home the patterns of what we're looking to do, and we just get edged out, I'll have no complaints. I mean, getting beat. If we get beat twice by Stockport, it won't define our season.
Yeah, 100%. So what are you going for?
And
goal scorers?
I don't see why we won't score at home. Yeah, 2-1.
Mm-hmm. Who do you reckon to score?
Probably Wootton and maybe Diamond off the bench.
Mm-hmm. What about for the Rovers though?
Hutchinson. I think he looks like he's getting himself chances, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, another Hutch goal would be good. Tom Butler says 2-2. Chris Collier 2-1. Thomas to score for the Gas. Josh, score prediction and goal scorers.
So I think we score at home. They don't blow teams away, do they? Like with loads and loads of goals, but they have kept 3 clean sheets in a row. They've also got 3 games in a week.
Oh, that's interesting.
They've got Barnsley, us, Wigan.
Oh yeah, they got Barnsley on the weekend, haven't they?
Yeah, so I think it will be a 1-1 draw. I have just looked because I thought I was having a bloody aneurysm. Callum Camps has started every game in January, other than on the New Year's Day.
Has he?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he didn't start the last game.
He wasn't in it.
Oh, right.
Actually, he wasn't involved. So I don't know why. So I was going to say that he would be my goal scorer, but he wasn't he wasn't involved, so he must have had a little knock. So I'll change my mind and I'll go 1-1 and I'll go Norwood for them because I just think he's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I know that's a bit of a dodgy one, but I'll go in because from a set piece or something. And I'll go Soterio, actually.
Love that. Soterio. Yeah, he's another one that's got 2 goals in.
Been playing well, been working hard, and he deserves it.
Yeah, 100%. Mats has gone 1-1. Yeah, so yeah, like you said, Stockport got a game on. Yeah, I'm gonna go for. So we've got a loss or draw. I've got to go for a win, haven't I? Home games, I'm pretty confident, no matter who we play. Like you said, though, there is still that little dodgy bit because I'm pretty sure the last Tuesday night game we had, we were, if I'm thinking correctly, and my mind's not playing games, I'm pretty sure the last Tuesday night home game we had, we were shocking. And I think it was Blackpool. I think that was the last Tuesday night home game, and we were absolutely shocking. So, like you said, even then, yeah, I'm going to go for 2-1 though. I'll say we'll win 2-1. Wootton for them, either, yeah, probably a header, knowing him and knowing us. For us, I'll go with the Reindeer to bring home the 3 points and score on his debut, and I
was tempted.
Yeah, I'll go with Hutchinson as well. I'll go with Hutch to get another goal as well. I think we could see Taylor come out of the side for a couple of games. To be fair, I think after there has been a few mistakes, but I think after Saturday you have to play. If there's no sort of, obviously it depends on what Callum wants to do, but if there's no sort of knock and whatever, I think you've got to play pretty much the same team other than the few changes we've made. Goro's agreed as well. He's gone 2 on gas, and Ben Rowland's gone 1-1. So yeah, we're going to end it now. Like I said, loads of you haven't left your predictions, so make sure you leave it down in the comments after the stream is ended. Thanks to everyone that's tuned in. Thanks to Neil and Josh again. Appreciate it as always. Thanks to everyone for the support. Leave a like. Obviously, there's plenty of time to watch it as well. I'll leave timestamps tomorrow evening when I get back from work to those that want to look at certain parts, because obviously we've spoken about lots of different things tonight, window, etc. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, follow the Talking Gas if you haven't already, follow Neil, follow Josh on TikTok, subscribe to the YouTube, and yeah, follow us on our normal socials as well. But yeah, thanks for watching. We'll be back next Thursday as we who we got next Saturday. Is it Burton at home?
Yeah, because then we go to Wickham on a Tuesday, don't we? After
that. So we'll be back next Thursday for the Burton preview and to obviously review Stockport. But yeah, for now, enjoy the rest of your week, the weekend. See you Tuesday night, and yeah, hopefully 3 points up the gas.
Up the gas.